Okay.
If you stay.
If I was just gonna say that. Oh,
if you make it, I got you.
I mean, if y'all entertaining enough, I will stay. Other than that, I got stuff to do. But I
like pay invoices.
Oh, don't listen to her. How do you feel?
I'm
about
the plug.
quote?
What can I say?
Well, what I feel about the quote is, I think it's, I think it exemplifies what I've personally, the standard I put on myself. And it's when I start something, I don't stop until I accomplish what I set out to do. And so sometimes non-negotiable. Absolutely.
Ping.
Absolutely.
I need to get a bell.
Sometimes you want to give up, and I don't believe in quitting until the season is over, until you get that confirmation, until the job is done. And sometimes you might not finish the task that you thought you should have completed, but the season is over. You completed the season, and so I'm obedient. I'm obedient to that.
That's that triumph lifestyle, huh?
I guess. It should be everybody's, not just the credit
not
of the
everybody's.
church. But yeah, I just believe in just seeing your season through. And if you finish 10 tasks within that season, it's fine. If you finish 5 and you thought you would do 10, fine. But as long as the season is complete, it's what it is,
Oh, okay. She just educated me, and she.
I tried. It done told you.
Appreciate the love.
So, Mr. Lateness, and
don't you come for Aaron? Don't you come for Aaron?
So, Mr. Lateness in the white shirt. The quote says.
Don't let him get you because this one always late.
Let me read it back to you. When you feel like quitting, think about why you start. Why did you start your business? And do you ever think about quitting?
Clearly, I don't think he got work at that pencil on his ear. So he
well, there's a couple ways that could be spun. Life itself is a business, so we all have these different businesses and corporations. Whether or not they're incorporated through a tax ID number through a state is one thing versus, I just started my own public adjusting firm. I've been in the insurance industry 11 years now. I don't see myself going back to working for somebody else. So when I started my own business, as far as music goes, music has always cost me money. I got $80,000 in student loans that I really don't plan on paying back willingly. So that's an offset. I do it because I love it. I don't know. As far as the quote, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. Sure, of course. I mean, those are great words of wisdom. I think we all feel like quitting at some time.
Baby.
And if you don't, then God bless you, or you're crazy.
It's about, and it happens. But I hate it.
Hey, life is hard though, man. It's so it ain't just a business that you're doing, or I don't know, any kind of club or group or something that you start, for your own fix or whatever that is, better the community or whatever. Life itself, man, that's the first one, I think.
FCC.
But
PG.
If you don't feel like quitting a couple times, especially what's going on right now in this world, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go home to glory. I'll tell you that. It's crazy. We've lost our authority.
Rabbit tail
We've
man.
lost our authority in God. Nobody knows what's what anymore. And so yeah, man, you like quitting all the time. But you got to go back to where you started. I don't know. How deep you want to get?
Well, I guess
we got time. Let's go. We got time.
So,
and there she go with that phone.
And there you go with that Android.
Yeah.
That Android.
We're gonna talk about.
And by the way, they come out with a new BlackBerry Key 1. I will be getting it. Okay.
So we're gonna do a sidebar.
Whatever.
Because this one, hold on
BlackBerry
to the. She got a BlackBerry over here.
I'm on my, I don't even know how many years.
And she holding on to that sucker till her knuckles turn white. You understand me?
I have went through the process, and I have continued my fulfillment.
Girl, let me BBM you. Can I BBM
you?
you?
Yes. Oh, it works. It works. We collect coins with the BlackBerry.
Hello.
Reality, I'm the fool for having
Like you can make calls with that.
Man, I can't play with that.
You see his
Who is it? That's what's that, Sprint?
No, this is T-Mobile.
Oh,
And my phone is a lot, so I wouldn't be buying it. I already looked at the price, so I have to now come up with $700 to not unlock it. But I will have my phone because it just released. Verizon and Sprint both pulled it, so that means T-Mobile has no choice but to bring it.
Learn something new every day. I didn't know they were still in circulation.
Yes, ma'am.
What, BlackBerry?
Yes, ma'am.
Girl,
And it's
okay.
an Android operating system.
Okay.
for blind people.
wow.
So my motivation in my life, in real life. So I have two things. So the first thing, my very first motivation is ideally enough is my children, right? But it's not the simple motivation of just saying, look at my kids, they make me get up every day. No. My motivation is actually being able to just have conversations with them and then letting them see what I do. And it's so crazy because like yesterday I'm in the car with my 3-year-old and he said the word possibility. Where are you coming with these words?
Because he talks to us all the time.
What is happening here? And then, like every morning it's, I have to open the garage for you, Mom. I have to lock all the doors behind you. I have to do these things. And this is a 3-year-old. My teenager now, we made rules. I told him, I was like, I'm not taking you to school every morning anymore because it just becomes a travesty for me to get you and your brother and me, everybody in the same place.
And there's a bus that probably goes right.
Technically, no, it's going to have a bus. So he's paying for Uber.
Because he works.
He works, and his father makes sure that he provides some resources for him. So he pays Uber. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than others, but since he's been doing it on his own, he's been on time for school every day since school was started. So that becomes your whole responsibility. And when he wants to come home, he can come home when he's ready.
He in high school?
He is in high school.
He is the coolest kid at school.
Yes, yes.
And he is the nerdiest one at the same breath.
He like a cool nerd. He remind me of Dean Beans. He remind me, yeah.
But that's the first motivation. And then the next thing is actually looking at my clients. So when I have an opportunity to speak to my clients and work with them on a one-on-one basis and actually seeing their visions and their dreams come to life, those are things that cannot be paid for. Those are things that you cannot take away. Like that is like a dream come true to someone. And then you were a part of that. Even if you were nothing but a spark or a catalyst, you might have connected them to one person and something happened and they got it and it went to the next level, or, their website was here and now it's there and it's complete, just taking away some of the debt they have and putting it into a positive place. Or like even last week I had my call with my client and we realized that she has hit her goal almost 50% of the year. And then she made more money this year now today than she made last year, period. So that alone is gonna reconnect. That alone was like that's my epiphany. Like that's my thing, that's my motivation to see those things, to hear those conversations. That pays for itself. That gives me everything. And when I see that and I manifest that into my son, and my son is able to tell me what he's doing with himself and how he's being able to make change for himself. Like today, we had a conversation to go to a trip that cost $3,000. Now, my family was willing to take the plunge. My son said no. He said it's too expensive. And I was expecting for him to just go forward. And he was like, no. I asked him 4 times. He's every time, no. And I said, why? And he was like, because I want to do other things. And if we spend $3,000 on one trip for one experience, I can do 6 or 7 other things for that same $3,000. So why do it? It doesn't make any sense. And I just had to sit there and look at my phone and say, you know what? And this is
becoming a young man.
But if you still want to get that $3,000 away, I got some stuff we can do with that.
Well, you always do.
You always know I got some plans for the cash.
Plans for the cash. Hey, Susie. So those are things for me. Motivation comes from the children, first and foremost. But the other thing is like watching my clients grow. seeing them, being a part of their vision, being a part of their mission, whether they be an hourly client or a contractual client where I'm speaking to them on a consistent basis. We spend the time every week. That alone is like, oh my God. But today's overall motivation was when I got the email that says we made enough money to pay rent. Hello. That's
always
was the beauty. That said all week long I've been on that. And it was like, OMG, yes. That right there. So those three things happened all today. And I was like, you know what? This is pretty amazing. So there's nothing that can take away, even when you want to quit, when you think about those things, when you think about the people that you impact or someone that you meet that says you made a difference in my life, like, what can you say? And this morning, I know y'all probably didn't see it on my post. You might have seen it. I literally walked from my parking garage all the way through the downtown area. So
it's different.
I went to Lunchtime Global. I'm going to tell you about that story later.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Roast and Plant.
You get us some cookies?
I did. They in the car.
Boom.
They do it down there.
I'm just saying.
Roast and Plant makes some babies, but you can call Roast and Plant and order your cookies.
Right. That's the thing about it.
But it's okay because it's nice outside. Because it's like, girl, bye. Get your life right. You can call and order them. They be having them ready for you.
And that's what I was going to say. So as I was walking from the car through downtown, I went past 4 or 5 buildings. And every building was playing a different song. But every song was uplifting. Mind you, this is like 9 a.m. in the morning. And my boss is one of the people, he's like, you need to explore downtown. Get to know it, get to breathe it, get to feel it. And this morning, I actually took what he said to heart. And I did just that. I walked outside and felt it. And every building you walked in, it was a different song playing. It was something else, but it was uplifting. It gave you spirit. And I said, this is energizing. So you go into your job and you don't even realize. Yeah, you don't even realize the time has went by. Yeah. So by the time I looked up, it was noon, and I was like, dang. And the next thing I know, it was 3:22, and I was in the bathroom. The lady was like, it's 3:30 already? Like, where did the day go? Because these things are happening, and we're being inspired because we're not come to the dryness, being unable to be connected. Like, every day is a motivational piece to being able to make a difference.
Right.
And that you can't pay for it. Like, to be here right now, even though I know we are all challenged by the things that are happening in society, when you are around people who have energizing spirits, and I know my music people can definitely feel that, because I know when y'all get in the booth and it's just everybody is just feeling the vibe off everybody in the room is just rocking, and you like, wait. And then all of a sudden stuff just starts coming together, and it might not make sense, but then when you hear it play back, it's like, what the heck? I was caught myself. Y'all now see.
And see, I'm sitting there looking like,
yeah, I was coming. But I think that word is okay. But, just those things. And so, to me, motivation is, when you see those things, even on the roughest day, like you said, $80,000 in debt. Now it's $189,000.
Right. Mine is down to 76, I think.
Yeah, I'm 189. No.
I came from 3 digits to a 2 digit. I'll take it.
71.
That's that interest.
Right. But those are things that for me, seeing the city and then seeing the people, and then that's like I tell everybody for every show, coming here every week and then meeting new people who bring inspiration or change to other people. Like, that's why I don't want a Dateline hardcore interviewee type of show. I want something that's going to engage you in conversation, something that's going to help people understand, like, because what motivates you may motivate someone else, and then they may reach out to you and say, you know what, how do you stay there? What do I need to do? And if that creates a connection, that creates something for both of you guys to do, then that's a beautiful blessing. But if you just do a straight interview and you just answer questions, no one can really get to know who you are, your personality, the drivers that keep you focused on a day-to-day basis. We can talk about kids, we can talk about life, we can talk about politics, but in real life, you got to live real life. And you can't do that by just being interviewed.
Yeah, so I want to quit every day. And so, actually, I got somebody who was worse than you in my email right now. So, it's not you. So, I will be honest, and every day I get done with everything, and I be like, I quit. I'm not doing this tomorrow. But then you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you be like, I got an idea for something else, or I want to do something else, or this would be great doing this or that, this and that. And it's always when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, even at the end when you really want to quit, you see there's something else you should be doing. And so you won't allow yourself to quit because you're doing it for someone else. It's not always that you're doing it for yourself.
Correct.
So like, yeah, everybody know I got kids. As J Rock says, I got like 12,
14.
17, 15. I don't know. I'm still paying taxes. So clearly the number can't be right. But just making sure that they see that we don't quit. That's the one big thing. You do things and you say, okay.
On that one, baby.
Oh, you do things and it's difficult. It's hard. But I think what happens is as your children get older and you're honest with them about how hard things really are, they realize that if you want it and it's worth it, you're not going to quit to get it. You're going to do what you got to do within the realms of possibility to get where you got to go. But also seeing that what happens at the end, seeing a completed product makes you understand, okay, all this work, the sleepless nights, the emails at 3 a.m., the making sure these tracks was right, all this stuff is worth it because now I got this. And now I'm able to do these additional things. So it's always over. Oh my God, when it blinks, baby, bling, you be like, and scene. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm working on that PayPal, making a little bit more noise for me and all of my clients. But I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And even going to the next quote, talking about motivation, I think sometimes you have to motivate yourself because it's not going to always be that the outside influences can motivate you to move to the next spot. So, most people know during my day job, I'm a union rep. And one of my taglines always is, I cannot want it more than you do. I can't want my job. I can't want your job more than you. So one of us gonna have to bust up. So I'm gonna have to give. But you gotta have an internal motivator to make you want to move to the next spot, to say that I gotta be better than X, Y, and Z. And it's not always about being better than the next person, but making sure you reach your next level because your better may not be the same as somebody else's better. So just going through that part, and making sure that motivation stays where it's supposed to be, making sure your motivation becomes a habit of your life that, okay, say I'm gonna go to the booth every morning at 8 o'clock. Every morning at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be in the booth working on a track, on a song. I'm going to be working on something. But you have to find a way to make the motivation and make what you're doing a habit in your life so that it becomes flawless, becomes a part of what you do all the time. Once you do that, even the hardest days, even the worst nights of quitting, you will still wake up in the morning and want to still do the craziness all over again because you've seen what you can get from the craziness. Mm-hmm. It works. So, and again, also, you can't allow the others that are looking in to deter you from what you're trying to do.
Habits should become non-negotiable.
Correct.
Like even for me, I learned more this year about making things habitual. So like even when I cut myself off, so I'm learning more to be stern with my time, and that goes for clients and kids. So putting myself, as people keep talking about self-care and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So for me, the habitualness for me is if your time was at your time and you were 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late, whatever the case may be, guess what?
Too bad, so sad.
We missed our time. We'll have to just circle back when time is allowed. And the reason why that is because if I continually make those concessions, mm-hmm. I'm going to make the concessions consistently. And then the stuff that I really do need to be doing will get pushed back.
Your concessions become the normal.
Yes. And then for me, what if that's writing a part of a business plan? What if that's going back and redoing a spreadsheet and trying to recalculate your profit and loss? Like, what if it happens to be another client that's going to be impacted because of what happened? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't keep doing that. So you got to start putting your foot down. Mm-hmm. And that's the challenge of life. 5 minutes and 15 is one, but when you're 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour and a half, no. So, mm-hmm. and then my whole day is shot. So that's one thing. And then even with my kids at night, so I've learned that at between 9 and 10:30 is when you start putting the kids down and trying to transition your way from being in business mode to being a parent. And that's, checking homework, making sure kids is bathed, clothes is out for the next day, da-da-da-da-da. And people are like, well, you can do your email at the same time. No,
absolutely not.
It's like hard as paint. I'm for real. Like I'm watching paint dry and it ain't, no. It's like my 3-year-old is like, we
Man.
about to watch YouTube. No, we about to take showers. What we about to do? He like, but why? I'm clean. No, you're not. You've been playing with kids all day. Wash all that off.
You're 3.
You're right.
Right.
You know, so I want to go around the room and just, you know, I want to identify from family to business your motivators. The things that motivate you just from the family side of life, and then what you have made habitual, like the things that you cannot take off your plate that are totally non-negotiable. Who want to go first?
So we're gonna do that when we come back. We're about to take care of this commercial real quick and make sure we make these pay these bills real quick.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna come right back.
You're on.
You actually got my invoice and her invoice. I need you to holler and take care of that, but we're gonna take that care of off the scene. I'll email it to you again. Don't you play with me. We'll be right back. We're about to take a commercial break real quick, pay these bills. How much in a minute? And you talking about
I got the radio show